The second episode of Peacemaker Season 2 is here, and it's about the same quality as the first episode. I kind of wish episode 1 and 2 released on the same day, because these two are really just set up for the rest of the story. Not a ton happens in both. I do like this episode a little better, mostly because the jokes landed a lot more, and the tone of the episode works very well in a way the show hasn't really attempted before. Let me explain, because that was a bit of a loaded statement. Firstly, for the humor, Vigilante is back, and he was by far the funniest character of season 1. And it really sucked not getting a bunch of him in the previous episode. But here, it is such a treat to see him being overjoyed while chopping up and disposing of a corpse just because he's doing it with his best friend. I love how they carry over how particular he is about random things compared to how grotesque some of his own actions are. In the span of 5 minutes, he is jealous because he couldn't be part of the orgy from the last episode, then gets annoyed because someone didn't wash their hands in the bathroom, and then immediately after that, says it's cool that Peacemaker just murdered his doppelganger and is dancing with a big goofy grin while chopping up Peacemaker 2's corpse. And a new character is introduced in this episode, played by comedy legend Tim Meadows. This character rivals Vigilante as far as being the funniest character on the show. This guy walking around with a straight face, giving people the most offensive name he could think of, was already hilarious, but when one guy objects, he goes from calling him Ponyboy to barely legal, and I lost my shit. Then the whole bird blindness bit was great, and the fact that they brought it back as an excuse for him to be unable to fight back against Eagly was another great bit. And my boy Eagly. This ferocious motherfucker is now the most horrifying pet I have ever seen. This bird has a whole action sequence where he is knocking people over and pulling eyes out and puncturing throats. The scene looked great, the action was awesome, and Eagly's badass walk at the end of the fight was equal parts badass, adorable, and hysterical. Now, as far as tone goes, this episode really shocked me. I love that throughout the entire episode, Peacemaker is visibly in shock from the events of the first episode. He's clearly disturbed from killing his alternate self, and he's trying to reach out to people, but Vigilante is so insane that he's incapable of giving Peacemaker any sort of comfort or stability that he actually needs. And Harcourt has such an abusive relationship with herself that she's incapable of accepting anything positive from anyone and just villainizes Peacemaker and pushes him away. And this sends him down a rabbit hole where in a drunk state, Peacemaker decides to go to the other world to live his dream life. Something I really hope they do this season is not make this alternate reality a secret evil reality. I think the idea of the grass truly being greener on the other side, so to say, and Peacemaker having access to said other side is such a great idea for someone who's struggling with changing for the better when everyone still sees him as a villain. And I'm really hoping that his arc is going to be about accepting reality and learning that a life that's real but painful is better and more rewarding than a life that's fake and painless. I think that's where this is going, but making Keith an actual villain could derail that idea, and that's what a ton of people are currently theorizing. But I don't think this season needs a main villain like the first season had, but we'll see what happens. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, I'm reviewing all of Peacemaker Season 2 week by week. I have a review out of Episode 1 already, as well as The Suicide Squad, and I'll have a Season 1 review of Peacemaker out real soon. Please like and subscribe, and thank you all so much for watching, and take care.